Good afternoon, grinders. This is your MLB SimLabs analysis for Tuesday, June 24th. I'm Jordan Cooper, aka BlenderHD, BlenderHD. If you want to follow me on Twitter, hit that thumbs up button, first thing in the door. That helps us out a lot. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here and hit the notification bell to know when we go live, 5 p.m. Eastern. Grinders live here on the channel, leading up until crunch time at about 6:15 p.m. Eastern or so with Kevin Roth and his famous weather report. We can see here at RotoGrinders.com. I don't think there's going to be that much weather we have to be that concerned about today. I don't believe a lot of green, yellow greens. Maybe we have to look out for Chicago, the White Sox game, a little bit. I guess St. Louis, a little bit. Kansas City, maybe. Most of these look like they're most likely they're most likely going to play. Maybe there's a chance of the delay. But we have a 12-game slate today. There's plenty of options to choose from. One hitting option that stands out amongst the pack. We'll have to talk about that. Very expensive, but boy, team totals. The Dodgers team total today, 7.6 in Colorado. Do you want to pay $7,200 for Shohei Ohtani? Are you even going to be able to pay that much for him? We'll see. Other than that, we got the Yankees at 5.27. Everything else is kind of like everything's kind of smattered in like the low to mid fours outside of some certain spots where we're probably targeting pitchers. So yeah, it's kind of going to be the Dodgers and then everyone else, maybe the Yankees and then everyone else. Pitching wise, though, we have a bunch of options to choose from. I mean, it's mostly expensive options. Like in order to really fit in a Dodger stack today, you're gonna have to take a chance on like 6K level pitcher, I guess. Are there enough value options that you could like punt in 3 spots and still play the Dodgers? Maybe. Probably not, but the top pitching option on today's slate, by far, actually, is Garrett Crochet at 11K against the Angels. He is the highest projection in the RotoGrinders model with 23 fantasy points as a median highest optimal rate, 36%. And for a 12-game slate, 36% is pretty damn high, right? 24 pitchers on the slate, and over a third of the time, Garrett Crochet on DraftKings will be optimal. After that, we got a bunch in the teens. I think for the price, probably a good option is Freddie Peralta against Pittsburgh. We have his median projection at 20. So that's a 3-point gap. And then after that, there's another gap. And then we get Framber Valdez. He has a 10% chance of being optimal. And he's 9,500. Peralta's 9,200. We got Carlos Rodon at 10.7 with an 18-point projection. We got Spencer Strider at 10K with almost a 17-point projection. Luis Castillo, 8,200. He's a little bit mid-priced, 15.47 point projection. These are all the pitchers that are in like the teens when it comes to optimal rate. Another option could be like Chris Bubik at 9K against Tampa Bay. May lean a little bit away from that. But if you're going to play the Dodgers today, if you're going to play an expensive stack, because even the Yankees, it's not like the Yankees are cheap. You may have to take a shot at one of these like 6K level guys. And the two that stand out, I think, are Ryan Nelson at 6,500 against the White Sox. The White Sox have a 4.09 implied team total. Ryan Nelson is not the highest of upside guys, but he has a strikeout prop of 4.5 minus 145. So that isn't all that bad. Also, Tyler Anderson at 6,400 against this pretty crappy Boston lineup now. We take a look. They have a 4.47 implied team total. These aren't safe. These aren't safe spots, right? They both have projections in the mid-13s from median, but they both have 9 to 11% chance of being optimal. Also, like a guy like McGreevy at 6,800. I'm just not sure about his pitch count. We have him in 85 pitches. I think I'd much rather take a shot on like Ryan Nelson. We have at 89, Tyler Anderson at 93. Like Tyler Anderson's someone that could throw 100 pitches. Is he going to throw 100 pitches and strike out a bunch of people? I'm not exactly sure. He's a strikeout prop of 5.5 plus 115. So it's not bad. And the ownership of some of these guys is not going to be all that much, right? We have Tyler Anderson 11% projected owned. We have Ryan Nelson at 9% projected owned. A lot of the ownership on today's slate and pitcher is going to go to Crochet and Peralta. And you can definitely play Crochet Peralta lineups. I'm just not sure you can play them with Dodger stacks. I'm pretty sure you can. If you want to get even cheaper, I mean, if you want to play a Dodger stack, you could play Crochet Nelson, Crochet Anderson, or just forego Crochet and play Peralta. You could play like Peralta Castillo lineup, maybe 9,200 plus 8,200. I mean, he's still playing 17.4K a pitcher. It's still going to be tough. I mean, if we take a look at this Dodgers lineup, because obviously that's the stack of the slate. We'll see what SimLabs says, but I'm going to assume that SimLabs may be lower on the Dodgers today, just simply due to price. Their projections are ridiculous. So we got Ohtani 7,200, Betts at 57, Freeman 62, Will Smith 59, Hernandez at 58, Muncy at 49, Andy Paez at 5,100, Edman at 4,200, and Kim at 5K batting ninth. Yeah, they're very, very. There's no cheap guys here. Edman is the cheapest, and he's 4,200. He's the cheapy. And then we take a look at a team like the Yankees, who are in Cincinnati. That's a good hitter's ballpark. Outside of Judge, obviously much cheaper, right? Grissom 4,100, Judge 67, Ben Rice 44, Bellinger 48, Stanton 38, who I think is going to be pretty popular today. Chisholm 5,100, Volpe 4K, Wells 4,300, LeMahieu 2,800. So you get a decided discount on the Yankees today. I think before I even look at SimLabs, getting Contrarian on today's slate as far as stacks wise, I think is going to be pretty easy. Right, we take a look at the top MLB stacks tool here on RotoGrinders. We have the Dodgers at 16% chance of being optimal. Yankees 13% chance, and then it starts dipping down. Cincinnati against Rodon 8%. Boston against Anderson 7%. Then Atlanta, Seattle, Kansas City, Milwaukee in like the 5% range. I think especially if you're playing large field GPPs today, like if you're going to play like 10 lineups, I would consider just like pick all of them. Like if fade the Dodgers, fade the Yankees, and just play like Cincinnati, Boston, Atlanta, Seattle. They just play. You could literally you could play like 10 different stacks, and they're all going to be like single digit owned, right? I don't think like if people are going to fade the Dodgers, I think then it's going to go to the Yankees, and then who knows, and then maybe the Royals, maybe the Mariners, maybe the Rockies, only because due to price. Especially if you're going to pay up for Crochet at 11K. But there are plenty of pitches. See, the thing is that even though I think Crochet obviously has the highest mean projection, we have a lot of good pitchers today. It's quite possible that Crochet has a good game and he gets 28 fantasy points. But then we may have like 5 other pitchers that get like 22 to 24 between Peralta, Castillo, Rodon, Strider, Valdez, Bubic, Taj Bradley at 7,200, right? We get Verlander. I mean, I don't know about Verlander, right? I mean, you got Valdez and Bubic. I mean, it's quite possible that if you get 50 points combined at pitcher, you're fine. And you could have found a combination of a lot of these guys to do that. And so it may be the type of thing that if you're going to play the Dodgers today, like just play not Crochet and not Peralta, and try to go cheap at pitcher and just hope no one gets 30 plus points at pitcher. I think there'll be a lot of pitchers that have 20 to 25 points today on today's slate. But let's see what SimLabs says. I'm going to put in 150 lineups. I'm playing large field today. I'm probably going to do that. I'm probably going to play like 5 lineups today. Like I'm going to assume if SimLabs says that I want a lot of Dodgers, I may just play one lineup and just play the Dodgers lineup. But if if we get a mix of a lot in SimLabs, I may just play like 5 lineups with 5 different stacks. So let's go to contest field size large, results range low, maybe not that low, but like maybe 50%. We're gonna stack 5 man. We're not gonna lock anyone in. I just want to see what shows up, right? Because we have like Peralta is overowned, we have Valdez is overowned, we have Strider is overowned. We don't have Crochet as over-owned because, we have his ownership at like 33%, and his optimal rate is 36%. So he's actually slightly under-owned today. So let's see what it says. Based on that ownership, it may be that we get a lot more Crochet than the Dodgers. But I don't know. That's why I run SimLabs, right? I do this typically, a half an hour before lock. I do it on my phone a lot of the time, which we have a SimLabs app for iOS. So on your iPhone, you could just do it on the go. You can pretty much all the options that you can on desktop on your phone. So definitely, if you're a Combo Light subscriber, use SimLabs on your phone. Okay, we get some Yankees here. Let's see. Go to exposures. Let's go to, we're getting a lot of Crochet right here. Ton of Crochet. 68% out of the 150 lineups. Crochet. Then we get Castillo, Peralta, Nelson, Anderson, Strider, Robleski, Rodon, and then we just get a smattering of all this type of stuff. Not that much Bubik. Not that much. Like, who else is up here? Valdez. We're getting Bubik. We're getting a decent amount. But it seems like Crochet, Nelson, Crochet Anderson, Crochet Castillo, Crochet Peralta. And then one of these stacks. You got a red stack, a Yankee stack. Let's see what stacks come up. Yeah, as I expected, like only 4% Dodgers. A lot of Cincinnati, a lot of New York, a lot of Colorado, a lot of Chicago White Sox. The White Sox are so ridiculously cheap, right? And they're facing Ryan Nelson. So even though Ryan Nelson is an option to play a pitcher against crappy White Sox team, it's actually rare that the White Sox have a team total that's over 4. We take a look at the White Sox lineup. I mean, the White Sox lineup is like going to the dollar store, right? Where's the White Sox, right? We have to worry about the weather in the game. Remember, tune into crunch time. Make sure you're checking on that. But look at this lineup. I mean, truthfully, it's awful. It's awful. But you got 3K, 3,100, 2,700, 3,500. Luis Robert, who their best player, pretty much hitter wise at least, is 3,500, 2,100. 2,600, 2,100, 2,400. They are the vomit of vomit stacks. If you want to play a Crochet Strider lineup, or they just spend up a pitcher and still play like Ohtani as a one-off, like you can still play a 3-man Dodgers stack with the White Sox. Is that an option today? Well, SimLabs definitely thinks it is, right? And same for the Rockies. The Rockies 4.4 implied team total. Obviously in cores, but they're an awful team as well. They're pretty cheap for a cores team, right? Tyler Freeman 4,200, Jordan Beck 4,300, Hunter Goodman 4,600, McMahon 39, 34, 38, 4K, 3K, 3,200, up against Justin Robleski, who I don't consider to be all that good. You could definitely play the Rockies today. But it prefers to play the Yankees at their prices over the Dodgers, and the Reds as the number one stack on the slate as far as what it appears to be. 4.23 implied run total. What does their lineup look like against the Yankees? Against Rodon, which I don't know how many people are actually going to go there. I don't know. I don't think that many people are actually going to play Rodon today because we have all these other pitchers up there. But most of their lineup outside of Ellie De La Cruz, they're pretty cheap as well. Obviously, I'd rather target the righties against Rodon, which Friedel will lead off. At 4,700, maybe he won't be that owned. But McLean, Stevenson, Steer, CES, that's doable. I'm not a huge fan of the Reds today with their implied team total, but they may end up going under owned today, especially against Rodon. So, we could use SimLabs to lock in some stuff just to see. We don't get many Dodgers, but what are these Dodgers? Let's say you wanted to play the Dodgers. What do the Dodgers lineups look like at least? Okay. Because I could scroll down and look for the 4% of lineups that are here. But let me put in for 20 lineups with the Dodgers. I just want to see if we were to play the Dodgers today, what does SimLabs recommend? What does it recommend the rest of the lineup look like? Because I can't imagine Garrett Crochet's in these Dodger lineups. 5-man stacks of the Dodgers, right? Okay, here we go. Peralta, Nelson, and then you're not even playing. You're not even playing Ohtani. You're playing Will Smith, Edman, Muncy, Hernandez, Pajes, and then you're playing Joey Ortiz at 2,400. if Brenton Doyle and Connor Joe at 2K, bottom of the order. I mean, if he starts against the Yankees. So I mean, you got it. I mean, you're punting at a pitcher spot with Nelson, and you still have to play like two really low priced one-offs, and then you still don't get Ohtani, and you don't get Betts either. Right, here's one with Castillo, Nelson, Freeman, Edman, Muncy, Betts, Pages, and then you get like a Dominic Canzone, 2,700, Patrick Bailey, 2,300. I mean, some of these lineups, I mean, they rate out pretty decently. I mean, here's like Taj Bradley, Trevor Williams combination, like unknown, like this is 3%, 1%, right? And you get Stanton as a one-off here, but you still don't get Ohtani. Like what lineups would I mean, I'm assuming Ohtani is going to show up more in as one-offs. Well, here we go. Here's Bradley Quantrill. I don't know about that combination. Nelson Williams, right? Two cheap pitchers. Will Smith, Ohtani, Edman, Muncy, Hernandez. You still have to play like Isaac Collins, Joey Ortiz, and Ian Happ as, I guess, Cubs one-off. I mean, you can see. You have to hold your nose to play some of these Dodgers lineups, but 7.6 implied run total in cores. I mean, they could just score 15 runs, and you need to have them. You need to have them. Here's a Castillo-Anderson lineup that doesn't look okay. Here, you could actually play Betts and Ohtani together. What does this lineup look like? Castillo-Anderson. Okay, so you still have to play a 6K pitcher. And the punts are, so you play Muncy, Betts, Ohtani, Hernandez, Pages. So it's like, okay. Curtis Mead, Ryan Noda, Martin Maldonado. Like, you have to punt in like 3 batter spots in order to get like these Ohtani lineups in, and then you still have to punt at 1 pitcher spot. And you can see why when we ran 150 lineups that not many Dodgers stacks are coming up. Yeah, if they score 15 runs, you're good. But if they just score like 7 or 8 runs, which is a lot of runs, I mean, they probably don't pay off their price, right? Unless you get like a 2K guy that hits 2 home runs today or something. So yeah, the Dodgers, just due to salary, aren't nearly as appealing as, let's say, the Yankees stacks. So we put in these Yankees stacks. What do these stacks look like? I think we're much more likely to be able to play Crochet because we saw in those Dodgers stacks, we couldn't even play. We didn't even have Peralta in those lineups. And Peralta's 9,200, let alone an 11K pitcher. Right, here's look, Yankee lineup. Crochet, Peralta. The chalk combination. Ben Rice, LeMahieu, Volpe, Bellinger, Stanton. Play some Dodgers, right? Ramos, Schmidt, Patrick Bailey, which is, I mean, it's still cheap. Still punting a little. We get top 2 pitchers. Here's Nelson Williams. So you're playing 2 cheap pitchers, but then you get to play Aaron Judge. Then you got Stanton, Grissom, Judge, Chisholm, Rice, and then you get to play Michael Garcia, Bobby Witt, Sal Perez for the Royals. Like this rates out much better than those Dodgers lineups, even with Nelson and Williams, which I'm not all that thrilled with. All the pitching that's on today's slate. Like, I'm just not sure unless they both have outlier games. I'm going to find it. I think it's going to be hard to win a GPP, especially in a large field, without at least 50 points a pitcher, right? Between the 2 pitchers combined. And we have plenty of pitchers that could, I mean, we have pitchers that upside that could do that by themselves. I mean, we have some pitchers that could put up 40 points today. So I'm really weary of these like double cheap pitcher options today. I'd much rather go up and down, pay up for one, even if the pay up option is Luis Castillo at 8,200 or Freddie Peralta at 9,200 or something like that. Or Framber Valdez at 95 or Bubik at 9K. Maybe you don't have to go all the way up to a Crochet or Rodon or Strider. Right, we have Crochet Nelson lineup. So this isn't that bad. A Yankee stack with Wells, Chisholm, Volpe, Grissom, Stanton. Then you get Roman Anthony, Matt McClain, Abraham Toro, something like that. That's doable. 90 rating. That's pretty good, right? Crochet Castillo lineup. I don't mind this. I mean, we get the corpse of Andrew McCutchen in the lineup, but whatever. You're punting with Connor Joe, which probably doesn't do much for you. But these are a little bit more appealing. These Yankee lineups are a little bit more appealing. And then if you want to pay up twice a pitcher, I mean, SimLabs would say that Cincinnati is the best option on today's slate, right? So So if I were to play 5 lineups, then I think that's what I'm going to do. I may just completely just punt and not play the Dodgers. I mean, they can put up tons of runs, and it's not going to matter. But play a Yankees lineup, Reds lineup, a Kansas City lineup, a Colorado lineup, and I'll play the White Sox. I'll vomit with the White Sox, right? It's just so cheap. But I don't mind playing Ryan Nelson in one lineup and still playing the White Sox in another lineup. I don't mind doing that type of stuff. I don't mind playing Boston in one lineup and Tyler Anderson in another lineup. I don't mind playing Rodon. Hey, you can even. I mean, I think if I'm going to play Rodon, I'm just going to spend up the extra 300. I'll find the 300 for Crochet with the 5-point difference in median projection. Even though Rodon will be much lower owned, I think I'm much more likely to just play Cincinnati against Rodon. Because even though Rodon may not be owned, I just don't think people are just like, why am I playing a team against Carlos Rodon? Well, I mean, when Rodon is bad, he could be really bad, right? And give up, 3 home runs or something. But most likely not. I mean, 6.5 strikeout prop. So it's not the greatest of spots, but SimLabs seems to like it. And that's what I do here. Go through SimLabs, show you how to use these tools. It's very simple. You see how easy it is, right? It just produces the lineup for you. You can pick and choose. You can save some. You can, whether it be small field, single entry, put in your certain, exclude this pitcher, exclude that player, include this. I definitely want to play Ohtani today. So you lock them in and then see what lineups, come out and what their rating is. And pretty much any lineup that's rated like 65, 70 plus all the way up to the top is about the same. The margins are so small. So you can find hundreds, if not thousands of lineups to play, what they look like based on our proprietary player and ownership projections here at RotoGrinders. And you could use SimLabs as part of our cheapest combo light package, $29.99 a month. You get full access to SimLabs for the 4 major sports, including NFL, NBA, PGA, and of course, MLB. Access to all of our research tools like Plate IQ, Court IQ, Gridiron IQ for NFL, Weather Edge, and all of our premium written content, which includes Cheese's Goods, $1 Million Musings, which he writes every weekday. So click on that link in the description. Check that out today. And if, hey, it's even cheaper. That's cost you nothing. Hitting that thumbs up button on your way out the door. Thank you very much. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and definitely tune in to Grinders live later today, 5 p.m. Eastern, and tune into to Crunch Time right after that with Kevin Roth. Get all your weather updates, and you can do that by clicking on that notification bell to always know when we go live. And I'll see you back on Friday for another MLB SimLabs analysis here on RotoGrinders.com.